Alrighty guys, welcome. Apologies for the slight delay. Hope we're all doing well. And let's get this show on the road without further ado. Back on TikTok as well at the same time, guys. So anyone watching on either platform, YouTube or TikTok, please, if you could, give it a like. Let's see what we can come up with moving forward today. Just one moment, guys. Remember to do a listen on TikTok. Alrighty, guys. As always, good morning, good afternoon, and a very good evening, no matter where you are around the world. Hope you're all doing well. Welcome to another big London session. So yesterday, a little bit indifferent. Start off with not the best start to the session. Obviously, waited for the right confirmation to come later on, and got a hold of a really good trade on gold to end the stream. So today, moving forward, we'll see what we can come up with as per the usual. Guys, if you could do, please hit the like button. Do say good day in the chat, and let's have a look at what we've got moving forward. So first of all, let's have a look at the news. Let me kill the music a bit in the YouTube. TikTok guys as well, if you guys are out there, let me know that you can hear me loud and clear. I'll get to you guys shortly. But moving forward today, news, as far as the news wise, we don't really have anything which will have an impact on our particular session anyway, the London session. However, moving forward, quite a big day with CPI to come for the US dollar. So that is just past midnight my time, so I won't be on the charts for that. But I would recommend anyone who is on the charts just be wary of that. So it's one of the leading indicators as to the rate of inflation in the US, so which will also be obviously give us some sort of idea as to where they may head with future rate cuts or hikes, or if they keep the rates the same moving forward. But nonetheless, guys, let's do what we do best, and that is the analysis and looking for quality entries, and that's what we will do just now. So as always, let's start with GJ. Any questions, any charts, any pairs you'd like me to look at, send those into the chat and I'll do so promptly. All right, so starting with GJ, what we can see is current weekly candle has flipped back bullish, so it's a bit all over the shop. The current weekly candle, once again, the previous weekly did close back bearish candle, leaving a long wick to the upside. Still, if we begin to break low of that candle, it's a high probability we would continue to the downside. And once again, if we begin to break the high of the previous candle, it's also a high probability with the clean traffic to the left above that 200 flat level that we could make a nice clean move up. So a little bit indecisive so far within the current weekly candle. What we can see on the daily time frame itself, structure wise, we do remain bullish. We have bounced off the support to begin the week, and we're remaining above it. So very similar sort of price action to what we had just here to the left over the past few weeks actually. So the current candle has broken the low of the previous candle, but we're currently pulling back towards the high of that previous candle. So very difficult again as far as clear direction at the moment, but all we can see is, well, what we can say is, sorry, that we are at a strong support. The structure is bullish, and we are forming a strong bullish candle currently at the daily support. So onto the 4-hour time frame, and what we can see on the 4-hour is that we still remain bearish. Once again, as long as we remain below the highest point of this impulse to the upside, which was around that 200 level, just below 200, we are technically bearish in structure. But once again, we have bounced off a very strong level of support, and with counter probabilities to the upside. So we're just going to mark in the most recent levels. We've got levels below it, but we're a fair distance off it. We'll worry about it if and when that time comes. What we can see is the current candle has no lower wick, the 4-hour. So we're going to mark in the current 4-hour candle's low. We're also going to mark in a resistance, the most recent resistance, and let's move on to the 30-minute time frame. All right, so on to the 30-minute. Just going to adjust this zone ever so slightly. All right, so onto the 30-minute. You can see we've just broken a resistance, which lines up with support here. Which lines up with the open of this current H4 candle, which has no low wick. So gonna mark that level in. I want to see if and when we do come back down to that level, how price reacts to it. Because if we were to start closing below it, you know, at that point there's a high probability that H4 is going to create the low wick. Not only that, what we can see is the 30-minute structure still remains bearish as well, guys. So based off that, hold on, has it closed below? 30-minute structure is technically, by the looks of it, still looks technically bullish actually. Or you could argue it's still bullish, to be honest. That's probably barely closed below. Look, you can argue it either way, but what we can see is that we are trending to the upside within the current daily candle nonetheless. On the way up, we have formed the most recent support at 197.20 to 197, around at 197.250 to 197.20. So what I'd be looking at on the GJ is, well, depending right now, we're closing a weak bearish candle, kind of consolidating on the 15. Doesn't look like we've got any real volume within price action right now. So what I'm likely going to be doing is waiting to see how price reacts if it does come back down to retest that 197.450. Look for my price action catalyst to form, and that above that level for potential buy option, take it back up towards the high of the 4-hour resistance. So I'm going to put in buyers above 197.444 to be exact. And if we do start to head back down to that level, and if we bounced off it, only to end up popping back below into the range below that 197.430 roughly. At that point there, I feel there's a high probability that we could come back down to the support. So I'd be looking for my potential sell options back in the range below that we have just recently broken out of pre-stream. Further options, in my opinion, will be looking for, again, you could be calling this bearish right now. I see an argument to either bullish or bearish in the M30. But obviously if it does create another move to the upside, 197.750 up to that resistance, then I'd be looking for my catalyst once again in the price action for a potential sell back down, guys. Now what we may also get is potential buyers shortly. If this 15-minute, the preference would be for the 30, because it looks like it's a fair move, about a 10 pip move roughly to break the high. From the lowest point, it's around 10 pips. Preference is to see closures above. Do we have the margin to take it up though to the resistance? And it will all depend on also how far above it does close. So likely we're not going to have the margin. So at this rate, we're likely going to wait to see how price reacts to the resistance. It could also be buys above that resistance. It's quite clean to the left. So there's GJ. Kind of preferring the buys at this point, but we'll have to wait and see moving forward. So hopefully that makes sense, guys. If it did, make sure to hit like button. If it didn't, let me know. It's all good. It's just my opinion, and we can move on to have a look at the gold. So starting with a fresh chart as usual. So looking at gold starting at the weekly time frame, and we are still forming a very strong bearish candle. So based off this candle, once again, as you hear me often say, what I'm going to be looking for is potential areas within this candle we could pull back to either respect the resistance and head back down towards the current day weekly candles low, or to break above the resistance and look for my potential options to buy it on in anticipation of a deeper pullback to the next level. Onto the daily time frame, we've now closed below the support. So the daily, if we were to begin to break the low of that previous daily candle, see there's potential for it to come all the way back down towards that 2560 sort of level. Based on the higher time frame, we do have a clean area of traffic to the left hand side, clean move up. So we've pulled back and we are now respecting the previous support here to the left within the current daily candle. Once again, if we begin to flip, I'm going to mark in also the current daily candles low just to see what we've got below it. And obviously structure wise, we are now bearish, officially bearish, guys. We have flipped the daily structure to bearish. So right now the bias, I'm still complete bull on gold as far as long term. But trading wise, we are bearish. We are definitely bearish. The 4 hour is also bearish. We can see we're hovering below that support from yesterday. The good thing is for the 4 hour now, guys, it's not that far for price to move in order to flip the structure back bullish. So that could provide for potential deeper pullbacks. If we do flip the structure, that will be a really strong catalyst on the 4 hour time frame to look for continued buys. So straight off the bat, without looking at the 30, I'd be definitely interested in buying it above that 26, 27, 23 to be exact, and likely going to be looking for the sells below it too. Below the support, running into a little bit more support here to the left. So we'll need to determine, do we have the margin? We'll see if it's a bit clearer on the 30, if that does actually give us a little bit more margin. So let's do that. Let's go down to the 30-minute time frame just now. Just needing this zone a little bit. All right. Can we adjust this on the 30 to the left-hand side to give us just a little bit more space? We actually can. Something like that. All right. So options for me on gold, guys. So I'm going to mark in some more levels. We are now just consolidating. There is no volume whatsoever. People have been getting tripped out at the moment if they were trying to trade gold. Made a decent move just here prior to the stream, but right now we're just consolidating. Structure wise, the M30, we are technically bullish, so we do have that on our side, with also the daily still forming a bullish candle. So we have that lower wick. If we were now to head back up, the issue is above resistance, we run straight into more resistance to the left hand side here. So it's not going to be the easiest in terms of looking for buys from higher up, to be honest, guys, because what I will be doing is just marking in a minor resistance at that point there, and that is the current minor range within the 4 hour range. So for me right now, the options will be to look to see a nice clean candle close below that 2,604. That point there feels a high probability of coming back down towards the current daily candles low, and then potentially retest the weekly candles low. So closures below that point there would provide some decent sell options, I feel. We have now created a bit of a lower low just here. We created a high, had a bit of a swing point here, created a lower low. So it's within the actual structure itself, it's just a bit of micro trend, but we are now starting to perhaps trend to the downside yet again. So a nice strong closure below could provide some sell options. As for the buys, so let's go down to the 15 momentarily. See, we're just consolidating. Mark in a zone just here. Now if we have a really strong catalyst, it has to be a really strong closure on the M30 above the 15-minute consolidation. At that point now, I feel there's a high probability we could be heading back up towards the current daily candles high and tapping into this resistance again around that 26.13. So for me, I would consider, it has to be yet again a very clean candle, potential buys above, and it has to be closure above, pull back to retest that zone, and entries that begins to break the catalyst candles high. There is no limit order entries coming from consolidation. It's not something I would consider. So that is the potential options, most immediate options anyway. If we do reject that resistance, definitely interested in selling it, and obviously you'd be looking for the buys from lower down on gold. So that is a wrap of the analysis. Hopefully that did make sense, and what we will be doing is waiting to make some dollars. So give the stream a like, guys. TikTok, anyone out there? Jesus, Rayan, good day to you guys, welcome. All right, YouTube, who have we got here today? Tony, good morning to you, mate. Rick, as always, appreciate you. Bear mode on gold. At the moment, I tend to agree. Elias, good morning to you, my friend. Beats Voyager, good morning. Steve, Mr. Steve Dean, I hope you're doing well. Franco, as always. Rick, yep, good morning, Franco. Yeah, even I can understand. Carl F, good morning to you, my friend. Nax, good to see you back for the second day in a row. Dace, good morning to you, my friend. Menina, and TikTok. Welcome. So right now the focus, GJ, I want to see a little bit of, so look at that, look at a rejection. We broke the high. Looks like we just broke the high of that previous candle. We are now rejecting. What I want to see is a little bit of a pause before I was to consider any sell option below this previous resistance. So this candle was to close, for instance, like so in the next 6 minutes. What I'd really like to see in a following candle, can do whatever it wants to do though, is maybe a weak closure on the M15, weak bullish closure, and we'll form that minor support back below the previous resistance. And if we were to break that minor support on the next M30 candle, that could be my entry. We made a clean move to the upside. There's a high probability we will make a clean move to the downside, but that is what I want to see present just now. Definitely not going to take on the next M15 candle. TikTok, I have no idea what the deal is with, it just got banned again. Octavana, I thought I was doing all right, to be honest, but anyway, it's just you guys on YouTube. So that's what I'd be wanting to see right now on GJ moving forward. Hopefully that makes sense. Gold very awkward at the moment, just consolidating. Luke, g'day to you, mate. Let's get straight to 50 today. It'd be much appreciated if we could. Just printing pure trash on gold right now, so very difficult. Just need to chill for a bit. Rick, I hope for sales, but if everyone feels like selling, they trap us all. Yeah, I mean, it's good to be contrary. So, have you been trading Asian session in the past? No, not traded it for a while actually. Probably a couple months now, to be honest. Discord, VIP guys, here is the link. If there's anyone out there who understands TikTok, and look at GJ is just dumping. And how not to get banned. Send me a DM. I have no idea. Thought I'd done everything correctly, but obviously not. So in about 15 minutes time, I'll be removing this zone, seeing we're not respecting it whatsoever. We'll just melt it straight through it on the retest. The gold could be a little bit stagnant with the news to come. It may not necessarily do all that much before the news. So the forecast is for it to be, well, year on year a little bit higher, month on month to be the same for CPI and CPI itself. So this is all bullshit either way. CPI is just the biggest lie out there. It makes no sense whatsoever because they just chop and change products. They have a basket of goods and services. They just chop and change each reading. So one reading they might consider the price of coffee, next reading instead of coffee they'll consider the price of tea, for instance. So it is absolute the biggest crock of shit if you ask me. They can just make up whatever figure and would not have any relevance in my opinion. But it definitely does shift the market. So it's something as a trader we need to, irrespective of our belief of the lie that it is, we need to pay attention to it. All right, so gold rejecting a 15-minute resistance, the consolidation. Now we need a strong closure below. So what we are doing is we're consolidating below this previous support here to the left. As long as we remain below it, and now we just await a catalyst. There's a good chance, a high probability, we can get on the end of some nice sell options. So we're just patiently going to wait for this 30-minute candle to close and see where we're at. I'm not going to jump in prior to that. I'm just going to wait 13 minutes. So the hourly as well, we can see we're closing bearish, but there is just no volume just yet. Previous candle was an inside bar candle, so that is potential signs of a reversal to perhaps the upside. But we are respecting the hype that previous candle as well. So what this could just be is a little bit of a pause. And if we do remain below that previous support here to the left and start to close below it, I think there's a good chance we could get on the end some nice sell options. So that's what we're waiting for currently on gold. GJ, at this rate, we just need to wait and see how it reacts to 197.250, and that's where we could potentially start looking for some buy options. All right, so we've got just over 10 minutes remaining. Let's quickly look at GCAD, and this is also in quite a bit of a downtrend at the moment. The issue with GCAD, I've noticed it's at a very strong level of support, and look at this on the weekly, it's very, very choppy, but at least it looks like it's finally making a decent move. But we've broken through this consolidation and we're now back at the higher time frame support. Obviously the daily, it's a very strong level, very strong closure on a previous daily candle. Could mark in a 50% and just see what it lines up with if price was to pull back to that level. Been very little volume within the current daily candle. Obviously structure wise we are bearish on the daily, we are also bearish on the 4 hour, and we are definitely bearish on the 30. I'm assuming we would be, but once again we're at a very strong level of support, or approaching a very strong level of support here to the left. Don't yet have resistance confirmed. What I'll be doing is looking to the left and look to see what was the previous level we've broken, the most recent level, and that is or below the current level. We've broken this support, so around at 178.22 onto the 30. So the safest way to play this, in my opinion, is just to wait for it to pull back and reject. Just consolidating right now. I'd avoid the buy options personally. I mean, especially if this 4 hours, to close bearish, then the option would be to wait for the next 4 hours to close back bullish, but that will be very late into the day, and then look for your potential options. For me, it's a bit of a mess right now, to be honest. I haven't really been looking at GCAD all that much of late, but I'd rather just wait for a pullback to look for sell options. And if you were interested in the buys, just wait for a really strong catalyst, because right now it's just consolidating, so you need a really strong closure above, and then take in anticipation is going to make a deeper pullback, clear move to the downside on the most recent drop. So that is not that most of you are going to be interested in trading GCAD, but anyway. So how's the week been, guys? 1 win and 1 loss so far for myself. Flipping now on gold again, so it's consolidation. That's why I don't trust any impulse entries out of it, because this is exactly what it could do. Could trick you in and just bounce the opposite way again. When price is consolidating, you really need to be a little bit more patient with it. Let it decide, let it show you. Bitcoin has had a little bit of a pullback from its high, which is just a healthy pullback in a massive uptrend. Just keep it on gold for the time being. Marvy, no trade so far this week. All good, mate. Still got plenty of time. $33 on the stream, 17 more to go. If we reach 50 without trade, we still win. yeah, it would be nice. It would be nice to get back to above the 50 on a regular basis, like we were prior to me stopping for a month. It will happen. I'm sure it'll happen. Holiday crashed out. Yeah, I think it has, hasn't it?
Hey, good morning.
Good morning, brother. How are you?
I'm fine, thank you.
That's good.
And what about you?
Yeah, all good. All good.
Okay, how was your day?
Yeah, not bad, mate. Not bad. It was
Okay.
up and about early as per usual, and had to do some stuff for the business, and also managed to go to the gym, which is good.
Oh, that's good.
So, yeah, for a change, I haven't been able to go much the past week. But
It's getting a little bit the head free, oh?
sorry, mate.
So getting a little bit your head free.
Just a little bit, yeah, a little bit of time, a few hours during the day, which is better than nothing. So
I was also yesterday running outside, so
busy.
before the sun goes down, and appreciate it very much. It was also a long time I was not out, so
Yeah,
making sports.
yeah, it feels good when you know, a bit more active, getting out and
Correct.
about. So you've
Yeah.
been sick and had the hand problem as well. So all good now, I'm assuming.
Yeah. So yesterday I was out, and then I was attacked by a dog.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Great way to get back on the streets.
Pardon me?
A good way to start back on the street, out and about, and dog and
Yeah,
taxi.
yeah, it was some person which I a long time I have seen it, and yeah, the dog, and then the dog maybe thought that there was a threat,
Yeah,
and
and
then
then
attacked me. So, but I was not bit or bite.
oh, that's the main thing.
So, but the legs, so it touched to my leg, and then I had got some issues there. So, but never, not so heavy. So, but yeah,
not much luck.
yeah, I was a little bit shocked.
Yeah, I'm sure. I'm sure.
So, but what about I sent the GU to the members group. So
GU chart, yeah.
yeah. So for me,
Just quickly look. Yeah, resistance very similar. G card, but it looks very similar.
I put in some Fibonacci's retracement there, and maybe to see if we can pull back from these Fibonacci retracements. But it's very hard because right now it's a long time bearish,
Yeah.
and there will be a counter trend at the end.
Yeah.
To this big move down.
Yeah, it is very bearish. Yeah,
When
just
you are
need
looking
to
for
wait.
buys on gold.
Potentially, if it does close above in the next minute and a half, so that's why I'm keeping a bit of an eye on it. I need a closure low because it just keeps rejecting. So the only thing that will give me the confidence is a nice strong close. If I get that, now my only issue will be stop loss. So I would just have to use a wide stop loss, and then want to see the new or the like entry candle create decent lower wick, and then I can start managing it based off that. But at this rate, still rejecting, so there is no confirmation until we close above. Very choppy price action. Looks like it's going to break to the downside, pops straight back up. Looks like it's going to break to the upside and straight back into consolidation again. So I don't want to get tricked out. I want to wait patiently for the right confirmation.
Okay.
Still could happen. 40 seconds. Sketchmas, g'day to you, mate. Welcome. Rick, Justin and VIP, we have New York session. It's pre-MY and just depending on who's about, because some people work. If there's a few on, I'll stay on longer. If there's not, then we just sort of play it by ear. So gold, we've closed right back in consolidation, so there is no confirmation yet of a buy or a sell. Just need to wait. But otherwise, NY session is kept for Tuesdays and Wednesdays. Yeah, so that's when they are predominantly held. Since my brother's away though, I stay on not for as long, to be honest, because I just bugger because I'm up so early in the morning. It's very late of an evening here. But I was on yesterday for just over an hour, pre-MY. Mondays we do a education session every Monday. And that was a really they're always good, but last week's, I mean, this Monday's one was really good. That was really good. We cover a few topics. The members can decide amongst themselves what topic they'd like me to cover, and they're welcome to ask questions. And went for again, recorded the call for about the recording was about 50 minutes, covering two topics. And Thursdays I usually do like a live market update, and if there's something looking decent at the time, I might stay on for a bit. That's for MY, I mean, and that's probably about an hour after the stream, roughly. There's a call pretty much every day. The weekends, I generally, on Sunday, I do generally a live market update for moving forward into Monday, and also a sim session. But once again, while my brother's away, it's a little bit more difficult. I'll start that back, not this Sunday, but the following Sunday. That'll all start again. Steve, hope you're all, mate. Good to see you once again. Beats, that would be much appreciated. Getting closer to the 50 again, so come on, 2 more. Yep, that's it. Let's check out Fastball today, see what's going on here. Alright, so nothing seems to be breaking that's of any real importance. Something here about the Euro. European Central Bank Governor Council member Villeroy expects more European Central Bank rate cuts. So what's the Euro doing right now? Slowly making its way down, along with all the other majors by the looks of it. AU, GU, they all look basically the same. So GU looks very similar to GCAD, except below the lows you got some clean traffic. So GU looks pretty good. It's just a matter, in my opinion, of waiting for it to break to either side of this current range. It's very choppy within the current level, so very bearish. Would prefer the sell option, so pull back to sell it. But you do have reason to buy it if it does pop above, because that is a catalyst. You got some clean traffic to the left. Not flipping any structure, but what you will be doing is breaking the 4-hour resistance as well, breaking the current daily candles high, Seeing it's created the upper wick, pull back to create a lower wick. Was to now continue bearish, has not much of a need to pull back up and break its own high. It did so, closed above, and there's a good chance for it to make a deeper correction. And I'd still definitely look for sells from higher up. EU is very, very messy. It is not pleasant, to be honest. That move there is just horrid. Let's mark in the lows line. Let's just see what's below it. Actually, I don't think I have data, actually. Do I? No. Alright, so it's at a 4-hour support below the low, so not going to be easy on EU to sell it below. But with the momentum, with the structure, with the volume, I could understand why people may take a sell below. Just remove some of these zones. Rick, type W in the chat. We're going to cheat the algorithm. That would be much appreciated if you could. Yeah, I'll do it. That's it. Let's see if we can cheat it into triggering in some more people on the stream. See, appreciate it, guys. All right, so we've got 23.5 minutes until session open. We need a nice strong closure out of this consolidation. Now I might consider 15. The better option of preference is 30. If it is to be up to 15, I would not take a normal risk entry. The better option though is to wait for strong confirmation while we're consolidating. Rick +2. Appreciate it. Alright, DJ looks like it is bouncing. I'm gonna remove that zone for the time being. Yeah, JJ just got alerted to its thing at the moment. Oh, you've been in JJPY since yesterday, very low risk. Nice one. You're looking good as long as any pullback is met by support and above previous levels. So in this case, we're pretty much back above this consolidation, starting to pop above that resistance again. So what I'd probably be doing personally is trailing stop loss to just below the swing points. Not sure where your entry was, but assuming it was somewhere around here, around a low somewhere. I'd probably just trail it to maybe below 197.20. Oil, brick, swing trade I have long time ago. What I don't like about oil, US oil, is the gaps in the market. Yeah, that's the only thing I don't like about it. Yeah, it is quite volatile. Yeah, for me, it's not a commodity I like to trade, to scalp. I think it's better to swing trade if you were to trade it. But I could be wrong. I don't know. I'd prefer to swing trade it. Gut luck. I'm in long on GJ too. Stop loss now below low. Nice one. Rick 44. 6 more to go. Yeah. Close. Getting close. Beats me in traders to not have the patience and find it boring. But if there is no good opportunity, then you have to be patient. Here you will learn the value of patience. Be patient, that's the key. Could not have said it any better myself. Only then you will be a successful trader. Thanks for lessons. I appreciate the support, my friend. It does come down to it, and it is a very boring way of trading. And I've mentioned myself, I'd rather be a boring, profitable trader than an anxious trader who's in and out of markets every 5 minutes, taking 20-30 trades a day. It's just what suits me. I'm put myself under less stress. I put my account under less stress, and I know that I can trade. I've mentioned it before, 20 times a month, anywhere between 15 and 30 times a month basically is what I'll trade, usually 15 to 25 roughly, and I can have a better return than someone who's taking 80 trades for the month. And that's just because I'm not putting the account under as much stress, and my win rate is, well, for the most part, around that 80%. Some months it's a lot higher, some months it's lower, but on average around that 80%. And I used to be one of those to be in and out every 5 minutes trying to find entries, and I had restless nights. I had nights where during winter I was sweating because I was just so a nervous wreck. Like, got to get the drawdown back. I've got to get the loss back. Get close to break even for the day, and I'd feel okay and just give it a rest. But my head will be thumping on a bed, things like that. So it just wasn't working for me. So then I realized if I'm just patient and wait for a quality entry and just let it be, and by the end of the week, the end of the month, likely gonna end up in some profit. So Rick, I think I feel more excited for the views than you are. Yeah, we're getting there. It keeps obviously popping up and down a bit, the viewer count, but that's just all part of it. Drift course can come out. Yeah, look, the whole point is trying to be as robotic as you possibly can, to be honest. Just being reaction read to the markets and not trying to always predict ahead of time. Obviously you need to have a plan, but you just need to wait for it to present and just react. On gold right now, I need a closure above me to react. If I don't get that closure above, again, there's just no entry. And I could easily miss the move, but it's just part of it. There's nothing I can do about it. That needs to be the case. But this needs to really pop above in the next 5 seconds. No, and it doesn't really have an upper wick. A tiny one. Waiting for the 30. Waiting for the 30. Next 30 is also, yep, that's another good point. Bit of hourly closure as well. So if the hourly was to close bullish engulfing, that is a dual catalyst. You'll have the 30-minute closing above a resistance. You'll have the hourly closing engulfing. For me, that is a very, very strong indicator to take a buy if that was to be the case. So I just need to patiently wait for that to present. As time, it definitely is. That is pretty much the perfect catalyst. Speaking of perfect, Sharif, I've not forgotten what you mentioned about good idea for the rating the entry types, and it's something I will do when I have the time. I just really haven't had the time. Not until my brother comes back, which is this time next week. So that's if it's not the flight's not cancelled. I don't know if you guys are aware, but I think there's a volcano erupting in Indonesia. And the last time that happened, when I was in Thailand, my flight was cancelled and I couldn't get another flight for another 5 days. So because you fly over Indonesia to get back to Australia, to Melbourne. So they weren't diverting. I don't know why. So yeah, so I remember that. I got literally packing my bags and I got the urgent email. The flight has been cancelled. Call to rebook. I was in no hurry to call to rebook. Let's put it this way. It's probably why I didn't get another flight for 5 days or something. Actually sent FDMO an email today asking about the spreads. Just wondering what the spreads are like on gold and GJ. I'm not sure if it's correct because it says roughly 0.29, like the live spread was around 0.25 to 0.29 on gold, so I'm assuming it's 2 pips. This GJ was quite impressive. But as an Australian citizen, you can only apply for a swing account. I'm not sure why, but it seems to do with the leverage. were obviously by ASIC regulations, the maximum leverage we can have here is 1 to 30. Sharif, do you get your money back for the flight, or do they? Oh, no, just rebooked an alternative flight. I didn't have to pay any extra, but I did have to obviously find accommodation that for another 5 days at the time. I wasn't actually at my home at the time. I was traveling a bit prior to going home. Just catching up with a few mates and that, so ended up getting stuck there for another 5 days. Wasn't the worst thing. Rick, took me ages for me to be more patient. That was the hardest part. But I think for most of us, it's definitely the same for me. It took me quite some time to become a patient trader. Every time I thought I was becoming a patient trader, I'd go and do something really stupid. Just blew it all out the window. I'd have 2 good weeks of maybe small profits, probably because sometimes I'd be a little bit anxious even in profit, and sometimes secure way too early. And then I'd have the 1 week where I just undo it, and then I try to get it back, and FOMO kicks in, I just dig a deep hole, and you guys know the rest of the story. So again, I just got to the point where I was so fed up with myself and had to take a step back and just chill, come up with a proper game plan, some proper rules, and just stick to it. Because I remember looking back at my journal back then, Trello I used to use, and I never really checked my win rate, and I checked, I'm like, shit, I'm winning a lot more than I'm losing, and it was something like 70 something, close to 80% as well back then. I think if I just practice proper risk management, proper rules as well, trading based off rules and not just random lot sizes and things like that, then I could be easily profitable. Carl, FD mode GD spread is 1.5 to 2. Oh really? So is what I saw, it was 0.2. But again, maybe maybe that means 2 pips. That's just what I saw anyway. Yeah, every time it gets up to around that mid 40s, it just drops straight back. Gold spread 2 to 2. Yeah, see, that's what I thought. I don't think it's gonna be 0.2 for pip. Rick, you become mentally strong from trading. You're testing your mind to the max. Yeah, you definitely go through the phases of all the emotions. I mean, the anxiety, the euphoria, everything when it comes to actual trading. And it's just a matter of trying to not get too, attached to a trade and not get too emotional by the result. There's nothing wrong with enjoying a win. We also need to make sure we don't let the losses just completely destroy us. Quickly look at JJ. Alright, it's nothing on that, so it's definitely gold to focus, but again, we need the closures below or above. I don't care, just want a closure in the direction out of this consolidation. If Timo swing account's better, Carl, is it? Been with them about a year now. Okay, nice one. That's the only option as an Australian citizen, so Beats, if you don't know how to support, just smash the like button. Now you're supporting that. Exactly right. It's for free, it's easy. That's all I ask, guys. It's all I ask. And we're getting it up there, 26, so appreciate it. Like, that's a prompt I need to add to Nightbot, isn't it? And you guys can help me trigger it. Actually need to update it. That reminded me. Right, just under 5.5 minutes. Now the question is, are we gonna close above? Are we just gonna make a big impulsive move in the next 5 minutes? Anything could happen. Or are we gonna close right back into consolidation? Time will tell. Rick, imagine everyone in a trade dying in this range, dying inside. Yeah, I mean, some were probably swing trades based off maybe levels, so they're probably not all that concerned. But as a scalper, yeah, I would not be comfortable trading this current area. I mean, even the 5 minute, that's just a mess. How about the 1 minute? Yeah, I wouldn't be comfortable. I mean, I can see some people maybe being triggered in somewhere here on a break of this support, possibly. Some may have taken buys from this count, who knows? But yeah, it's not a nice level. Well, since I don't manage this trading psychology side of things, just by having a proper data set of, you know, sample trades or actual live trades is what I recommend. Having a journal to record it, so you know your results, and you know if, look, you're winning 60, 70, 80% of the time, that you're doing something right. So then it's just a matter of trusting yourself. And also, again, having some solid rules and following your trade plan. So, you know, how many trades you're going to take off a day, things like that. And knowing if it works for you, just got to let it be. You're not going to win every day. You're not going to win every trade. But again, if you just follow your plan, follow your rules, you know there's a high probability that you will be on the end of a nice trade. So that is just what happened with me. I think a lot of it's experience too. So I've been training for pretty much 8 years now, very close to 8 years. And it took me a fair while to get fed up with myself, but it gets to that point where you just realize you need to just follow the plan. Simply follow your plan of what you're to do prior to coming to the charts of the day, or when you first come on the charts, to looking for a trade as well and identifying quality entries. Trust me, I was a nervous wreck when I started out, especially when I started day trading. I mean, swing trading as well, because I hate waking up at night checking it and starting 30-40 pip drawdown, whatever, and I wake up every half an hour and check it again, which is not the way you should be swing trading. Swing trading, just let it be, let it do its thing. Scalping, again, at the start I was a wreck, but once again, by having the journal and proving to myself that I win more than I lose, that's when I needed to just chill and take a step back, and that's when I worked on things. Rick, overtrade the first year, then you'll learn to be patient afterwards. Yeah, probably overtrade the first few years, to be honest. Right now, gold rejecting yet again. See, this is boring as anything, guys. It's honestly, we're waiting on a very simple thing to happen, and we know there's a good chance that even when it breaks, it could just make a move, and we're not in it. But it's just part of it. We know there's a better chance or a high probability of a quality entry, a better entry, a winning entry, if we just patiently wait for it to close above or below. I'm coming to London Open just now, and I still don't have any confirmation whatsoever. GJ as well. There is very little margin to the upside on GJ. This candle has to close right up above the 50% from the open to the wicks if I was to consider any small entry. And it doesn't look like it's going to do it in the next 30 seconds. So it needs to close just there for me to consider it a strong enough catalyst. That's not going to do it, so now this is our current range on GJ. Oops. All right, so we've got London Open, gold dumping. I like boring, yes, but not losing money with nonsense trades when exactly what I used to do. Exactly what I used to. I just used to get bored. All right, London Open. All right, I'd find some excuse to trade it. Any excuse. Had to be in a trade at London Open. No top wick again, yeah. Tricky. This had been moving nicely down to this support and had no upper wick and tapped into it, then I would just market execute a buy in anticipation of it bouncing off a strong level and likely eventually going to pull back up to create the upper wick, but not within consolidation. Beats, everyone learn it the hard way. Losing, making mistakes, and feeling the pain, only then you will learn it. Exactly, it's all part of it. I agree 100%. It's all part of the process. I think, look, some people get lucky and, you know, have a pretty good start to their trading careers. Doesn't mean I won't go through bad patches, but they might not feel as much pain as what others went through. But for the most part, most traders are going to lose money, especially at the start. Just nothing, again, nothing for me on GJ. There we go for the top wick. Yeah, it looks like it's trying. All this is just really shit price action. Rick, 85% accounts make wick right, so never trade candles without one. My opinion, yeah, probably more than that, probably about 90 plus, even higher maybe. Look at it now, wow. So again, this was a chance. There's always a chance for this to happen as well, where it just breaks and melts. But there is no confirmation at all for me to take an entry on it. So again, I'm just waiting. I like strong bear close though. This is what I was hoping for. Yeah, still would like for it to open up a wick, because what it potentially could be doing is just sweeping the lows of this consolidation. grabbing a little bit more liquidity. So my concern would be that if the 15 closed below, that may be the case, and we may still pop back up to create the upper wick on the 30 and the hourly. So I'm not all that convinced, to be honest. No, it's probably gonna melt. It could. Rick, then create a wick on next. Yeah, look, I would consider it if they've closed below without it, but I'd be a little bit concerned. I could still pull up to create the upper wick. So it definitely needs to close strong below, and the new candle definitely needs an upper wick. And the only time I'd consider an entry is it broke the catalyst candle's low. No limit order. DJ also currently rejecting. No, same idea as Rick. Yep. Rick, the break of the previous candle limit orders are so perfect to me. Oh, okay. Yeah, fair enough. If there's something you've noticed and you can react to it, by all means, mate, by all means. Rick, most of the time it melts after previous candle breaks, right? Yeah, that's the higher probability, because at that point you've got, first of all, you got a catalyst, so proof that there is a little bit of volume, and you've broken a level and closed below a level that was a stubborn level to crack prior to it. And then you've also got the momentum as you begin to break. You got the candle probability, so lower high, lower low on the following candle. So what you might find is the new candle pulls back into the range above to grab a little bit more liquidity from it, and then as it begins to break, the candle's low. In my opinion, that's a higher probability entry. The limit orders, I feel, are very useful when things are trending prior to it. Right now, it's definitely not trending. It's just consolidating. So I'd rather see it, first of all, close significantly below. Then the new candle pull back to retest that zone. Then enters it breaks. And the only other option I would consider is, but it has to be on the 30, not the 15, is if the 30 closes below. And within the 30-minute catalyst candle, we've got maybe a pullback, one candle at least, or pop, preferably a 2 candle, but at least one candle pulling back on a 5-minute to retest this zone, and we still close below on the 30. Then what that would mean is the following candle, I don't necessarily need to tap into that zone, and may just pull back to create a bit of an upper wick, and it's still going to be a valid entry. Rick, often you are to put break even soon after already. Oh, when you're in the limit orders. In the limit orders, you can get to break even pretty quickly, and when it does go your way, they tend to work very, very well. And stop loss current candle high. When you, if you're taking based on candle probabilities, as it breaks the candle's low, that's something you can definitely do to mitigate and manage risk. GJ attempting to break, and it has broken, but it's now pulling back. So GJ, possibly we could get sells. We need a 30-minute closure. But we could be looking at potential sells if we actually close back below on the M30. As long as it doesn't melt and make the move. we would have enough margin. That's something we can consider, but we need to wait 20 more minutes. Alright, so we definitely want to see a closure below, like I mentioned. Brick gold breaking yet? Let's just see though, wait for the confirmation. Always? Exactly. So you know what? Retest, that would be perfect. Yep, true. Previous count was low. Once again, I'm fully aware it could just melt though, and that's something you just need to accept. It's what we described earlier, exactly. At the moment, it looks like it's making a significant move, so might not present what but we can reassess. It's all good. Yeah, it is deep diving at the moment, isn't it? So in this situation, this is probably where I need to wait for it. Once again, a little bit of a pause on the following 15. We got it yesterday, remember? It took a while, but we got it towards the end. But like I said, haven't ruled out GJ sales as well. Sexy drop, isn't it? It's a very nice candle. Yeah, it's pushing quite far. To be honest, guys, this is not going to be an easy continuation trade, to be honest, because it's already pushed within the current 15 without the upper wick, 4140 pips. I definitely need to wait for a pause now. There's no question about it. I need to wait for a bit of a pause. I'm not going to get in 40 plus pips after the move. I need to wait for another catalyst to set up. So 46 pips already. So once again, we'll wait. GJ is still a potential option. Yeah, I definitely need a pause now. It's way too far gone. X left me, it's already on. Yep, for the time being, it's gone anyway. It needs to set up yet again. Doing an ocean gate dive, that's what it looks like. It's just completely straight down. Yeah, nice move, but nothing I can do about it. So let's maybe keep an eye on GJ. Guys, I'm back in probably a minute or two. Need to quickly do something for dinner as well, so just 1 second. I am back. Look at that on gold. Wow. Wow. Very similar to yesterday, guys. That limit order at the beginning of the stream. This is almost identical and it's doing the exact same thing where it just burst straight through. So what I'm noticing, maybe it's just grabbing some liquidity yet again. So the best option is to wait for what we waited for him, which was a bit of a pause. So learned the hard way yesterday. Today wasn't interested in learn lessons. Now I would definitely trust the buyers more if we start to pop above is we've maybe just swept some liquidity from the downside potentially, or if we reject, we could have just pulled up to grab some more liquidity from the upside to make the final move down. So once again, that 2600 flat. So issue is for the sells, it's stop loss. Issue is for the buyers. Still not done anything yet to prove that. Yeah, right. So we still need to pop up the same point basically. Let's go back to, yeah. Ocean Gate, yeah. I mean, look at it now. Yeah, I definitely would have taken profits if I was in a trade 100%. That's the wildest thing I've seen since Trump won elections. Yeah, I mean, it's done a fair bit since he's won, so is he tweeting something, or should probably have him up here. Alright, so nothing seems to be breaking of major significance. Right, GJ is looking, as long as it doesn't melt just now completely, GJ is looking good. This is exactly what we want to see. This 30 closes bearish, close to its low. And we're going to have a likely, well, very close to an engulfing 15-minute. And that would be enough. I would definitely look to sell it. So GJ is probably looking more interesting now. I definitely want to see a nice strong closure on the 15. Bearish. Next, thinking upside liquidity if it closes below that zone. Yeah, potentially. And then for it to come back down. That zone color is chilled. Yeah, 15, isn't it, man? Just to distinguish, I've got many. 30, the darker blue. Obviously the grays are the more significant levels. And the aqua being the 15-minute. Can't, oh really? Oh yeah, so I think I was the same. Franco, didn't you say same thing? Or the spread was just too wide? How can you not trade G? You sure? I was always able to trade it, but that could be a region thing, I don't know. I first started with it one day, I had no problems trading GJ. Just didn't like the spreads though. Used to have been out blocked? Really? What are you on? Are you on a raw spread account or just the standard? Standard. Very interesting. All right. Potentially it's grabbing liquidity from the upside. So gold needs to once again close very close to slow. So actually moves the other way around. Minimum has to close below that point there. Now the only issue on gold will be stop loss. Do we have the margin below? Yeah, probably just enough. But having said that, you've got around 20 pips to the downside. I'd have to use the upper wick on the new candle to stop loss. There's not much point rolling with like a 50 pip stop loss targeting 10 to 15 pips. There's no point. So for it to be valid, this has to close below that horizontal. Then I deem it to be a weak enough candle and maybe just a strong liquidity grab from the upside. The new candle has to have an upper wick, not a big one, because then we're gonna have, again, same problem, big stop loss. Now, is there any option on GJ buys? Let's suss that out as well. Oh, just no margin. Rick, universe doesn't want me to get involved in GJ trades. Sometimes not a bad thing. Now look, I enjoy still trading GJ, to be honest.
Hey guys. No,
G'day mate, how are you?
doing alright.
That's it brother. What are you looking at? GU or?
Actually, I'm not looking at anything. The market is just barcoding.
Yeah, at the moment GU looks terrible.
Same with EU and same with EJ. They are all terrible.
EU's at a 4-hour support.
It's not only a 4-hour support, it's a daily support, it's a weekly support.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, EJ's at resistance as well. EJ looks a little bit better if it can pop above the resistance.
yeah. But even if it pops above the resistance, there is another level just beyond that. So
Just here? Yeah, it just depending. Obviously, you're looking at a higher time frame, so it might not be worth it for you. But it's just not. Nothing's trending.
yeah.
Everything's
Even
just
I was
consulting.
looking at the EJ also, maybe it can provide maybe a sell option, but even a sell option is
No
just
clean
not
area.
making any sense because like there are just so many levels. It's
Yeah.
just like stop and go.
Yeah, I can see what you mean to the left on the hourly as well. There's
Yeah.
you don't have really much margin at all. Got maybe 12 once you count for spread, maybe 11, 12 pips. So
That's like nothing in the world of EJ because their peak value also is not that high. So,
yeah.
and the stop loss is going to be way bigger.
Yeah, based off the hourly.
Yeah, it's not worth it.
Oh, yeah, I tend to agree. Similar to GJ right now. If it closes above, it's not really worth it because you don't have much margin to the 4-hour resistance. Stop loss will be much bigger than the actual target itself. So that's why I would prefer sells, but it looks like it won't eventuate. But still, who knows? And gold, right back in consolidation, potentially. It could close back up into it on the 30. Once again, if we start to pop above, there is a good chance we just grab some liquidity from the downside. But I still need confirmations to trade it. You love GJ, Rick? Gold and GJ best pairs. So I agree. I still prefer to trade gold. EU, I used to swing trade it. It's a scalp I've never really tried. Alright, let's see. Minute and 40 seconds. To be honest, I think I've tried trading nearly every pair throughout the years. That's another thing, it takes time to work out, and so it's best to just focus on one or two. But as a swing trader, you're probably more limited to opportunity, so I suppose it made more sense to be open to trading multiple pairs. Brick. Now again, like the previous Trump years, dollar should go up, go down. Yeah, potentially. No, I've heard conflicting stories about that. I've heard that he's all for a weaker dollar, but I would have thought he's all for a strong dollar. Pretty sure I've heard him say that. Wow, look at that, gold just pop straight back up. That you can gauge the strength of a nation by the strength of its currency, but then I've heard others say that he wants a weak dollar to encourage more trading with the US. So I'm not too sure what to make of that. It's definitely going to be moves, that's a given. I got to follow him on the new X Twitter account, whatever. So we're closed back in the consolidation, the M30. It's again tough market conditions at the moment. GJ's closed above. Yeah, we've got about 6 pips. Once you count for spread, maximum 6 pips. Limit order may be an option, but it's not now. It's not valid, it's broken. I mean, in this situation, if we're taking it, it just definitely gets a break even as it taps in, but it's not enough to really secure, to be honest. It was close to meeting $euro parity. It actually dropped a lot for a moment. I think at one point, I think the US dollar was stronger from 1-to-1 than the euro at some point. I remember the good old days when the Aussie dollar about 10 years ago was about $1.10 to $1 US dollar. It actually surpassed US dollar at one point. Now it's languishing at 65 cents. Oh, we formed, yep, on the alley. So I really would like to get involved if we close above. Just gonna have to figure out how we can get involved with a reasonable stop loss, because at the moment, no matter what time frame you look at, it's gonna be a little bit of a nightmare to stop loss. Because the closure above doesn't mean it's going to close above this point. It could close above at this point. Still would like to get involved. Still need to figure out how we can get a better stop loss. So it likely come down to the entry candle. And once again, limit orders will not be valid in this situation. We're not trending. Market's moving right now, but again, I just don't have strong enough confirmation. If I'm looking forward to Trump's tweets in the morning since the market's wild. Yeah, and I did it ever last time. Honestly, you see counts like this and like, uh-oh, he must have tweeted something. And surely enough, he had. First Trump people getting forward hard April 1st, April Fool's Day. And look at this. GJ once again coming back. Still the same game plan, GJ. And what would be really nice now is this 15 close strong bearish below, followed by once again a little minor pause. Closing a 30-minute back below this resistance, that would be really nice for an entry. Gold, I need to wait. Not going to deviate from that plan, waiting for closures. Rick, what's my hobbies besides training? Excuse me. Definitely gym. Yeah, that's probably number one. I love my basketball, NBA. So I tend to watch a fair bit of it when I get a chance. I got the league pass, so that's something I indulge in when I have time. And aside from that, I honestly like listening to podcasts about the economy, and I love that shit. I really do. Yeah, more so about things I'm interested in, which is obviously, you know, silver and gold as well. So listen to a lot of podcasts about those two metals. That's the main things. Obviously I like to travel, but yeah. Podcasts as well lately. Yeah, I don't watch TV, man. I mean, I suppose I watch basketball on the TV. I watch it, but I don't watch like just your ordinary TV and Netflix and all that. I don't even have it, to be honest. Most of what I watch is from YouTube. Don't mind some travel or travel documentaries, I think you call them. Some of those guys are pretty interesting, some of them are just stupid. Bald and Bankrupt, I think he's quite funny. I like that guy. Goes around the world and yeah, gets himself into some interesting places. Spaniard, he's cool. Let's see, 7.5 minutes. Are we gonna finally close above? Alright, so it looks like it's doing very similar to what this candle did, but now to the upside. Gold up to funny business right now, so again, stop loss is going to be massive. So what that likely is going to mean is I need to wait for another setup to present. So GJ, once again, let's see, we wanted to close strong. But when I'm driving, that's when I listen, man. Always listening while I'm driving. I hate listening to radio. Talking about how their child did a shit and came out looking like Jesus or something in a nappy, and they find it hilarious on talkback radio stations or whatever. I think it's the most stupid thing. Honestly, I'd rather listen to something that you can benefit from. That's the type of crap that they talk about here on Australian radio, and actually people find it entertaining. Ah, God. Yeah, it's giving us very, very little opportunities, to be honest. It's very difficult.
I would say, Justin, gold is it's not under control.
No, not at the moment. It's very, very volatile all over the place. So just means we need to chill. That's all. That's all we can do. Because we know if we wait patiently, we get it may not happen right now, but we get our option eventually. It happened yesterday in the end of stream. Waited for the right setup and we finally got it and did it melt. So again, it's just a matter of having the patience. Right now, nothing is good enough for me. Weak bearish candle rip, yeah, that is an option. However, if this pushes much more, you don't have the margin, but even for that. Truth, BBC Radio 4 for me in the car. Yeah, something like that's alright. I used to listen to Bloomberg a bit, but even that got a bit boring. Me, I'd rather just focus on what I want to know more on, which is again, you know, things I invest in. In this time, Elon rocket testing, Rick, and that's what it seems like. Yeah, it's just a liquidity grab, but what confirmation do you have until it does this? Now we know that just grab liquidity from the downside. First we get Yoshigate, now we get Elon's projects. That's what it seems to be at the moment. God, it's just all over the shop. Bits, yes, 100%. That's I agree. Just be careful not to fall into it. It looks great, and you're looking at it thinking, "Oh shit, I missed it." Hard. You would have got trapped on the first occasion if you hadn't secured profit. You could still get trapped on this occasion as well. So just wait for something familiar to present. Who knows? GJ still could. So far, we'll get the first tick on this 15-minute candle. Potentially. So we want this candle to close strong back below. Roughly like so. Followed by that weak pause on the next 15-minute. And that will close the M30 back below. The M30 will end up looking the two 15-minute candles. What the 30 will look like is that. And then the new candle opens up, creates a bit of an upper wick. We look to enter as it breaks the low of the catalyst candle. Before I would have been triggered in a sell or a long, but I'm much more patient nowadays. It's of huge importance. You have a funding account? Nice one. Made you more patient? Yeah, I feel it would, because it's more strict with the rules, obviously, the parameters of the funded accounts. So you're with, who is it, FTMO, or if you don't mind me asking? Whatever happened to IC markets funding? And I wonder, I thought that was starting. Anyone aware of if they are in the space or not? If you ever find yourself in that trap, going short or long, and your money's gone. Yeah, a lot of the time. We've all done that. All been in that, found ourselves in that trap. So GJ, don't just completely melt. This is still fine, because the stop loss we can use the next 15-minute candle if it does present. So far this is good. This is almost perfect. Profit trader? Oh, okay, never heard of it. Yeah, FDMO is a lot more expensive, but I think they can be, because they got the reputation. They've been around the longest. They are the original, and they're the one I've seen evidence of, and Don't close with no lower wick, but all right, doesn't really make a difference as long as this candle closes weak bullish. I still entertain it as a sell option because the 30 will have definitely a low wick if this closes weak bullish on the 15. So we're still looking good, guys. Just need to wait. Top step X, good one. Oh really? And I was told before Alpha Capital was good, but then it was Tommy was telling me, one of the members, you guys will know Tommy from the chat and that, I think he was telling me that they propped him as well, his account. Yeah, so gold got the closure above. There's no lower wick in the current candle. There's no margin now to resistance. Is what it is. So definitely GJ is our focus now. Rick, friend of mine, it was 12k profits and broke a rule, lost it all. Was it a minor breach or a major breach though? Because I know when I was with that only scams, I had minor breaches which would just reset your account at 0 on, that's on the live, that was on the live account too. You wouldn't lose the account and you didn't have to start again. You just couldn't withdraw profits, but then they started with all these bullshit rules that were never there prior to me accepting and taking a challenge. Major adjusting lot size, yeah, that's also, yeah, most of them have that. You need to have lot size consistency rules. They've all, most of them have got that as far as I'm aware. I completely locked me out of my terminal. I could not access it, and then after 30 days you've been inactive for too long, it's a hard breach. And what a joke, such a joke. Well, I think FTMO are the best. So I think they're not as strict with all that. Pretty sure you can. Could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure you can adjust lot sizes and that without them being too strict about it. Rick JJ looks good, but you can't trade it. Yeah, does look so far pretty good. See, my MetaTrader gold is starting to reject again. OnlyFans, yeah. Should have known from the name OnlyFans. They weren't a scam until they changed ownership, and then they became a scam. Apparently the company that took over as a company that has basically screwed most of the industry. Rick also no bottom wick, so if it closed weak bullish that'd be fantastic because the 30 was still closed with a wick though. Good sell, break of the previous low, yep. Beats, support, just to smash the like button, be much appreciated. How many likes have we got? 30, it's pretty good. Will you have a group trading pot? Or the VIP is something I consider. But again, it's a bit tough with all the legalities and all that. I don't want to have issues. Plus, it's not easy because not everyone obviously is going to be there forever, so people come and go. I thought about just having a shits and giggles account on a Friday, but it's not a good practice to have, and you know, people might get into some bad habits. even like maybe an options account where we just chill, relax, buy or sell. What do we think? Next 30 seconds, we up or down? Just printing your own stacks, but chilling with the live dudes. Meanwhile, yeah, I think that's the safest way to go about it. Obviously, it becomes messy. Like we've seen what happened with the infamous controller effects. Still hasn't said anything, has he? Come on, JJ. Can flip, it's okay, but we want it to close bullish. I know, man, please close bullish. And this is pretty much the exact same setup as what we got on gold towards the end of the stream yesterday, if it does present. Very similar. Rick, it does if it closes back weak bullish. Version like this would be absolutely perfect. Record is the current counter fill, best counter. Yeah, if it closed weak. So once again, that used to be the high. Preference is for it to close below there, but the 50 is also something I would consider. It looks like we could be pulling back a bit further. Lotus level, you wish I wasn't messing with JJ? That's strange, unless it's the same thing here now, but you never had issues trading it. Let's see here. Pretty sure this is a wonder, yeah. So if it's up here, then I'm assuming here in Oz you can trade it. I'd email them and ask them what the deal is. It is grey? That's strange, yeah, I'd ask him. Alright, so pulling back further. So this level could also be adjusted now. A little bit higher up. So we like for its close below 197.517. I mean, the preference is for its close below 197.50 flat. That psychological number. watch it, you know, on a chart but not put a limit. That's, yeah, I don't know. That's really strange. And what you could do on GJ is just roll off a tight stop loss based on the 15 about and 10 pip stop loss. And then you could get to break even as it taps into the 30-minute support, and that would be about, by the looks of it, about 7-8 pips, but the 15 is a lot cleaner. 15 you have more margin. We're still not there yet. Obviously it's pulling back a bit still, so has to close weak. Go back to the 30 for a second. So the 30, yeah, I really want to close strong. Beats are no. Again, I had an account with them, but they screwed it. I didn't do nothing wrong. It was in a little bit of profit. I was gonna just request a withdrawal, and I saw some stupid parameter come up, and I queried him about it because it said I was close to a hard breach on the account, so I was scared to trade it. I was waiting for an answer, and that was just accumulated loss from trades taken. But it was never floating loss. It never got close to, like, the most floating loss it had of a particular day was 1%, 1.5%. The account itself, 2% I think was where the drawdown max it got to, something like that. And anyway, got it, was in the profit, but I saw that parameter saying I was close to breaching the accumulated loss figure of 8% total. So I queried him about it, and then I could not access my account after that. I was afraid to trade it in case I was going to hard breach it, and I couldn't get into my terminal. So then they did me on a hard breach of inactivity for 30 days. An absolute joke. It was not in the rules at all. I've looked everywhere and it's still not there about accumulated loss of total trades. So if you've got a 300k account, of course you're gonna accumulate some, you know, decent, some pretty big loss. I mean, not big losses, but you're gonna accumulate a fair amount when it comes to the loss category. So combined losing trades was like 19k, so it was less than 8%. 8% was the total that would allow you to accumulate. In the history of the account, 8%, so 24k in a 300k account, in the history of the account, you cannot lose more than 24k, irrespective of the total drawdown. How in the world can you do that? Of course, you know, a small loss is already 1 or 2k on that size account, or 3k. So it absolutely made no sense. It really, I was so dirty. I really wanted to take it further. It's too hard. Yeah, it's the fib level. It's the 38.2. That's really where I want it to close. On GJ. Gold retesting that resistance. No, it's not gonna happen. Yeah, we're closed way too strong, but a 30 is not even the best closure. All right, so that's not valid. Gold back up the resistance. So let's look at it now on the 30. That looks a mess. That looks ugly. Yeah, gold, I think it's going to be difficult until maybe CPI. You can profit, yeah. Stick to small accounts. Well, that's what I was thinking. Maybe even a 20k or something. But it was a drawdown or loss allowed. I mean, but like me, how can you not, like, when you take a lot, I'm talking about, so I'm not sure if you guys get it, but the floating drawdown or realized drawdown was never ever close to 8%. Never ever close to it. Nowhere near it. Never in trouble. But all of a sudden on my terminal, I had this other parameter pop up about total accumulated loss, and it said 19 point something K, and the max for the account is 24k, and it apparently doesn't reset. It's just once it gets to 24k, it's hard to reach. I'm like, how the hell can you not? What a joke. And many others had a very similar thing. I had a look at the reviews afterwards, and everyone's complaining since they changed over ownership. They all had issues with their accounts. They didn't want to pay out or anything. They made up some stupid rules. So be very careful with the funded accounts, the prop firms. All right, so GJ not going to present, guys. Everything's a bit of a mess at the moment. I mean, it still could be an option below that candle's low, but you really need to wait for now an engulfing candle on this 15. Still pretty much the same entry point. If it does come back down and start to pop below it, potentially could be options. Not interested in buying it unless it's from lower down, because just there is no margin. But buys above, definitely buys above 197.80, 83. Or buy some lower down. Further sells if it does pull back and make the move up to 197, 70, 80, 75 to 80, that sort of level, and reject. You can make multiple 50k accounts combined. Yeah, I've spoken to a mate of mine about that as well with a copy trader. Bullshit rule, just not pay. Well, exactly. 100%. And I'll never forget it. Reinvest the private account. Well, what I would do is if I try a small account, profits I would put into the private account just to build that up more. It's the best way to go about it. All right, let's quickly look at GU moving up a little bit, but there is nothing. Still essentially in consolidation. EU bouncing from the support, again nothing, still really in a shitty area. Price action, EJ below. Everything is shit, guys, quite frankly. Bits, I think you can appeal to a much larger audience if you also trade with prop firms. Apex and Horizon, maybe take another look. Yeah, that is true, that's another thing. All food for thought, maybe into the new year as well. But yeah, I'm gonna go at it pretty hard next year. Got some plans. Got someone I will be working with, not streaming with, but helping me to engage with the right audience and all that. So hopefully that will do the trick a bit as well. But do a live challenge pass, small account, and flip it. Yeah, thing is, again, I'm strict, so I'm not going to just for the sake of it just go full margin on every trade and try to flip it. Yeah, I mean, again, that's something maybe to consider moving forward. Luke, sounds promising. Yeah, it should be right. I wish I could bloody work out what's the issue with TikTok, but I'll try to suss it out. Hopefully they'll be back up in a few days again. But yeah, I think that's about it, guys. Gold CPI to come, so be careful. This rate, I like it to make a clean move. Put it this way, cut through this crap and look for rejection of 26.13 to 15, or wait for it to make that move, pop back down, and look for buys from support lower down. That is gold. GJ, like I said, still a similar sort of entry point right now. Who knows if we're gonna have the margin though, because if it's anything like gold, it's likely going to close a little bit too far below. But it could be worth an entry, but you just need to wait patiently. Yeah, I don't think I'm gonna wait for that. I don't think it'll happen, to be honest. Rick, see you next week. Can't trade tomorrow. Friday's off as always. Fair enough, my friend. I'll be on tomorrow. I'll definitely be on tomorrow, guys. Friday won't be any stream this Friday again. Unfortunately, I'll be back way too late for it. But yeah, do trade safe, obviously, with CPI to come. Appreciate the support today, guys, and as always, so do trade safe. Make sure to follow me on IG and all that stuff, TikTok, if I still have an account, and I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Members, I'll catch you guys a bit later. I'll keep in touch with you. Have a good one. See you, mate. See you guys.
Bye.
Cheers, mate. You too. Take care. Bye for now.